Hello and welcome once again to Lutys Chainsaw Mods. I've got one of my little friends here that gets all over the bench and everything. Just get out of the way in a minute. I'm just talking today about fitment of my intake manifold that I make. So if you look inside there, you'll see I've just installed it on my CS580, my Chinese saw. So there it is. Now if you look, that's the firewall there, and it's all silicone all around it. Okay, so what you have to do, obviously take off your old manifold. There's an old manifold, and take your firewall out. Discard the cardboard insulator off the firewall. We won't need that. Get rid of that. The firewall itself, what you need to do is cut a hole in the center of the firewall, big enough so that you can pass it over your intake manifold. That way, pass it over your intake manifold. So what you're going to do is you're going to fit your intake manifold first using silicone sealant on the face. These haven't been finished yet, by the way. That's why they're like this. These are in their raw state still at the moment, but they will when I sell you one. They do come out painted up and everything. So put silicone sealant on your ceiling face. I use this. You use what you want, like, but I find this good. This is in a compressed canister. Press that little lever for it to come out. Nice and handy. Never had an issue with sealants. Not that sealant anyway. So put a little smear on there on the face. Bolt it onto your motor first. Once you've got it mounted on, remember you're going to cut a hole in your firewall just before you mount this, so that you can pass it over your intake. Now there's going to be gaps then, because you're going to have to cut that hole in the firewall quite big, so there's going to be gaps all the way around here. Now you do want it obviously sealed up, because otherwise you're going to pass warm air from where your fan blows across your cylinder. It's going to come into your intake space, or the intake chamber, whatever you want to call it. So you will have to seal it. So you bolt you put your firewall on over with a large hole in it, so it fits over your intake manifold. Bolt that down, and then you get your sealant or whatever, and you go all the way around your intake. Smooth it off. Make sure you push it underneath as well, underneath the manifold. So all you'll have is your bare face with nothing on, and that's all you got to do, like, really. I mean, I did think of different ideas with this firewall, like cutting it in half and trying to put it in two pieces so it wrapped around the carburettor, around the intake, but I thought this is the best way. I mean, you could do it however you want, but this way works. Just a big hole, put it on, seal it up with sealant. Now this intake, it's going to be on the market shortly, will take the standard carburettor, the 18mm carb, or you can fit the Husqvarna 372 carburettor, which this CS580 runs, which is thing with these, they're wider here. So if you don't fit one of my manifolds, you're not really gonna get this on. It won't really fit properly. The manifolds aren't big enough anyway. The standard manifolds are not big enough to actually make this carburettor and get it to work properly, because the holes are they're just not big enough. So if you're going to do it, you need to put a bigger intake on it like this. So yeah, these are longer, but this, because this is made shorter than the original intake, it will allow fitment of the Husqvarna 372 carb straight on. Now you can use the ordinary intake that comes with these CS580 saws, Chinese Zenoas, whatever they are like. They're all pretty much the same, to be honest with you. So you can use the intake if you want, and your own air filter. I've made a free-flowing filter, so I do away with that carburettor, the air intake mount. So you get that, basically that bolts straight onto the carburettor. So it's more free-flowing. But you know, you can use the standard one if that's what you want to do. So yeah, there it is. I'm just about to make the carburettor on here now. So what I'll be doing is putting a bit of sealant on there, no gaskets, carburettor bolted straight on, and the intake you would have to put more gasket sealant on the intake, or I would anyway. When you put your air filter mount on, put sealant on, bolt it all together. I mean, that's my intake mount now, so that'll just go. I'll put sealant on it before I put it on, and then that'll just bolt onto my carburettor. So it'll just have sealant between there and there, bolt it onto the carburettor, and then my air cleaner just goes straight on there. So yeah, that's what I've been doing today. Just thought I'd just do a little thing just to show you sort of pretty much how it goes on. Fits nicely, works well. They run really good, these intakes do. So another quick short one from Lutys Chainsaw Mods. Hope you enjoyed. If you I like doing these videos, and I like looking at other people's. You know, if you like this, then just like and share, please, and that just help my YouTube channel a little bit. Yeah, I really hope you enjoyed it. It's always better if someone shows you something, you know, if you can have a look before you do it, give you an idea of how to fit them. I still haven't, as yet, these intakes that I make, I've got 4, I'm keeping 2 for myself. I still haven't finished them off yet. They've got to be ground and painted. But they're going to be on eBay very shortly, and I'm just showing you, this is basically the only thing you have to do is just modify your firewall, really. Otherwise it's just a pretty basic fit like. So yeah, they'll be on there shortly. Put a couple on there. So I really hope you've enjoyed it. As I said, I like watching other people, so thanks very much for watching. I appreciate it, and bye for now. Thank you. Bye bye.